Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, and a big thank you to Noah in Chicago for his incredibly kind words about the show. And if anyone is listening, sat on a commute, close down Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever it is you've got open, if you could take just a few moments to leave a quick rating or review on the podcast app, I'd really appreciate it, as it really does help bring more listeners to our little community. Now today, I want to take a break from all those big tech trends that we're talking about a lot, such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, digital experiences, and all those other tech trends. Today, I want to look at a gadget that completely blew me away recently. So much so that I just had to invite them on the show to find out more. Scanmarker is just like a traditional yellow highlighter pen, which we've all used to highlight text. But here's the cool bit. It allows you to highlight text in a book or a magazine, I know, physical media, but stick with me, and then seamlessly upload it to your computer. How cool is that? And why was that not available when I was at school? My childlike curiosity made me feel compelled to find out more. So buckle up and hold on tight, because I want to beam your ears all the way to Israel so we can speak with Reuven Regev, founder and CEO and chairman at Scanmarker, so we can learn a lot more about this incredibly cool piece of tech. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Okay, I'm an electronic engineer by education from the Technion in Israel, and I would say entrepreneur by soul. My industrial background includes the defense industry here in Israel, and I used to be also a venture capitalist, invested in high-tech companies. Today, I'm focusing as a founder, chairman, and CEO of TopScan, the developer and the producer of the Scanmarker. I'm also attending few board companies, sitting in the board of few companies. That feels 7/24 of my life.
I love that line you used there. I'm an entrepreneur by soul. What a great line that is.
Yeah, that's what I feel. It's a great feeling to maybe talk about it later. That you have an idea, you envision something, and when it realizes to a real product that people are using and referring and complimenting, it's a really joy, It's not a business, it's a joy.
So when I first saw Scanmarker, it was added to my must-call gadget list straight away. And I think the best way for me to describe it to anyone listening is it's a digital highlighter. But you're going to be able to explain this much better than me. So can you offer an overview and help people listening visualise exactly what it is, just for anybody that's never seen this before?
Okay, it all started during my studies for a PhD degree I did in Stanford in management sciences. Originally I was an electronic engineer, but then I switched to management sciences. And differently from engineering, which deals with equations and these kind of things, I had to cope with massive reading of social psychology, in English. I found myself highlighting hundreds of key sentences in literature, which I had to memorize, but highlighting is not enough. In order to repeat and memorize, it's much easier if all those key sentences will be condensed in just one page of Word, you can read one word and not flip among hundreds of pages. So at this point, the Scanmarker idea jumped in. I thought about a device which will look like a traditional, traditional yellow highlighter. Will act the code exactly the same, so we don't need to educate the people how to use it. You do the same as the yellow highlighter. You scan, just brush over the line of text, and then within next second, you see it on the screen. And when I say screen, you can see it on your computer, the PC, it can be a Mac, and also it can be your Android or iOS smartphone. So it uses Bluetooth technology transmitted, and you just scan the line and you see it on the screen. Then you have on the page just condense the whole lines you've scanned. Now, After doing this, this was the key feature that we thought will be important. We add additional features that can really help people. One of them is the translation. We can translate. Each line of text scanned is immediately translated among more than 40 languages. And then another important feature we added was the text-to-speech feature, which lets you listen to the text you scan. And it is aimed mainly to people who wish to learn kind of foreign languages, but also for people with learning disabilities or difficult learning difficulties, like dyslexic people, that the scanner can help them read books and read articles. They have difficulty to read, so they scan the line and at the same time listening to it. So that was also a very nice feature that you added and found by many people very useful. So this is the main idea about the product and what it does.
What a fantastic idea. I love the fact, not only everything that it does, but I love how anybody can use it. Like you say, everybody's used a yellow highlighter pen and they know how to use it straight away. But I've got to ask, when you see someone use it for the first time and they select something from the physical world, such as text in a magazine, and they highlight that text in a magazine and it displays on their screen wirelessly in an instant, do you still get a kick out of their reaction?
Yeah, you see, as a founder who has realized this vision, this dream, from scratch, it's really touching to see this user, wow, when they see this magic. They watch the sentence jumping from the page, from the text, right to the screen. Really, it's more than that. It's quite expensive to have just to give you the idea how it looks from my perspective. It's quite expensive to reach professional bloggers advertising your product. In our case, it works the way around. I mean, in the opposite way. We are being approached by actually one of the biggest popular blogger sites and ask our permission to present this device to the audience, telling it's a great product. They never saw such a thing, and now they say, wow, what does it do? They see the animation, they see how it works. And so you're exposed to this way to more than 100 million viewers, and we gather tens of millions of likes and shares. Really heartwarming.
And something else that I think is really interesting is Scanmarker does not use costly, complicated mechanical components such as wheels and tooth wheels to measure scanning speed. Instead, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the printed text is scanned and captured as a raw image and then processed to a high-quality image ready for recognition by the OCR software. But can you tell me a little bit more about the tech behind Scanmarker?
Yes, indeed. The device is tiny. You saw it, it's a tiny device. But the tinier it is, the more technology is inside. It includes the high-resolution camera, optics, electro-optics, electronic circuitry, communication, precise mechanics and stuff. But most the IP is not in the mechanical and electronics, but in the image processing, the software. We found a way, when you need to adapt the product to hundreds of millions of people who scan differently from each other. One scan fast and one scan slow, wavy moves, hands are shaking, and you need to capture all the sentences by all these people around the world. So in order to overcome the variety of moves of people using the Scanmarker and moving along the lines, we had to use very sophisticated image processing that will capture the raw image and will convert it to nice images of text which can be accepted by the OCR technology. OCR is the optical character recognition software, which can recognize and convert these images to readable, editable text on word processors. So this was a real challenge, and this is the main IP of the product.
I would imagine having the ability to physically lift text onto a document must be really useful for students. But who is your target audience for Scanmarker? Do you get any feedback on who is using it out there, and have you been surprised by the different industries that are using it?
So we look in Google Analytics in order to find out, in Facebook, who are our typical audience. And then you see a flat curve. Amazing. I mean, it covers from bottom to top, from young ages to old ages. And so it's difficult to decide where to focus our marketing and sales efforts. As you said earlier, it's right. Every person who uses a highlighter, a yellow highlighter, and has a computer or a smartphone is a potential customer. Now, who doesn't have a yellow highlighter and a computer? Everybody. So it means that it's a huge population. The can be a basic for our product. And so, but as an individual business, we need to focus. And so we decided to focus on students, actually high schools and mainly college students. But then in elderly people from the age of 35 to 60, which are also nice buyers, either for themselves or for their children. They want to help the children to make better grades, So we saw a phenomena of older people buy for themselves or for the children. And so, as I say, students and elderly people from the age of 35 to 50 are our key population, target population. And you see, there are hundreds of millions, if not billions of them. So we really didn't simply just touch the market now. We didn't start yet.
I'm curious though. I mean, do you get to hear any feedback stories from users on how they're using Scanmarker and how it's making a difference to their daily routine or how much time it's saving them? Or is anybody using it for a purpose that you never even thought of?
Yeah, that's one of the best benefits a person can have, It's real heartwarming to get positive compliments on a product you have envisioned. It's really, I can tell you can see in Amazon, people do buy on Amazon, in Facebook, etc., and it's endless and it's so heartwarming that I can give you a few examples. For example, one lady, 63 years old, wrote us, "Listen, guys, it's the first time I am reading a book. I am a dyslexic, I can't read, and now scanning with the Scanmarker and listening to the book, it's the first time I'm reading a book." Now, can you imagine a lady 63 years old writing you such a mail? It's amazing. Now, people are writing you, "I used the product, I purchased it, it sounds too good to be true," he says. Then he writes, "Dare I say it, an amazing device that works," he says. Then he said, "Lastly, amazing customer service," because I will mention later on, but our team is a great team and I enjoy working with them, and we have also great customer services. It's very important for a company. Then there's some other clumps that say, "Listen, great product, very useful tool, it saves time, it works perfectly, it scans very fast and accurately." In Facebook, you can read, "It saved my life." Most of the responses in Facebook when you in all this blog, they say, "Where was it when I was a student?" And then it is an awesome tool, and etc. Endless things. It's really fantastic to listen to this and to read it. Really, I must confess, in the beginning, I didn't think about this product as a business. I worked in some other places, and I did it in parallel, just for fun, to have something to help people because I needed it myself, So along the time, it started to be a business, and then it started to be a business, so it can be a business. I left other things and decided to concentrate on it, but it's always a nice process.
And you did hint a few moments ago that it's incredibly heartwarming to see that kind of feedback. And you have had a lot of viral attention on the internet as well. For example, when Viral USA featured the product on one of its videos, it went viral and collected 58 million views and over 1 million shares. I mean, did that take you by surprise?
Wow, it was a real excitement, But honestly, I must say it also was a very nice commercial effect. All the inventory was sold in few days, after this flow. But nevertheless, I must confess and admit that we had experienced similar cases earlier, not as big, but not far than that. In the UK, you have a site called Lad Bible.
Yes.
You know it?
Yes.
Lad Bible advertises us, and we have there more than 20 million views and more than million in likes and share earlier. Then there is a site like Panorama in the Netherlands. We had more than 12 million. They have one bright site in Russia that covers. So it was really a nice excitement and huge effect, but less surprise, but very good feeling.
I bet.
I would say.
Now, we do have people listening all over the world today, so I must ask, which languages does Scanmarker and Scanmarker Air actually scan?
We can scan and translate over 40 languages, which covers pretty much the whole world. We can scan all the European languages, South America, Australia, and then all the US, of course, and then Chinese, Japanese, Korean. So also even few African languages. So pretty much the whole world. We cover the whole world, I would say. That's not a barrier.
Fantastic. So is there anything else that you can share with us today about Scanmarker and also your future plans for the business?
Okay, first of all, I'd like to praise our team. We have a great team here, dedicated and talented R&D team, a great, fantastic production facility. We manufacture, by the way, in China, and they're very responsive and doing a great job. We have an excellent customer support team. Can you imagine that people are sending chocolates to our support team? Chocolate, it's amazing, We have a store in the United States, in Kansas City, a fulfillment company, and they tell us that people are sending them chocolate from the US, and we customer support here in Israel. So what can we do with this chocolate? Send it from the States to Israel. But really, people have praised our customer support team, and it's really, we have a very pleasant atmosphere and very enthusiastic, and we feel great. Now, to the future, first of all, I would say that we send already a few tens, close to 100,000 scanners already, but I feel that we're only touching the market. We're looking for millions of them. So first of all, the idea and the plans are to really increase sales to large numbers. There are in the States alone 20 million students, in the UK, in Europe also about 20-30 million students. So we are talking about 100 million students worldwide, and if you take into account the high schools, etc., and other people, we are talking to hundreds of millions of potential customers. So in addition to the existing idea we have now, we plan to add features like imagine you can scan, I would say, or call it, to scan the music notes. So you scan music notes and listen to the music you scan. That's one of the features we are planning to add. Or to have different shapes of the product, lucrative, less lucrative. Actually, recently, a couple of weeks ago, we introduced to the market various colors. So we have pink, red, turquoise, white, blue, all kind of colors. So people will like various colors when they have an option to purchase various colors of the product. So it's a vast area of ideas that we're looking for, and it will come, gradually to the markets.
Well, I suspect that everybody listening is going to have two questions left now. One will be, how much does it cost? And two is, where can I get one? So can you remind the listeners of where they can find you online, where they can purchase one, and also contact a member of your team if they have any questions or even just want to send your support team some chocolates?
Sure. First of all, we are selling today in Amazon and for our website for $99 the Air product, and for $79 the USB cord product. Actually, we have resellers across the world, in the States, in Europe, in South Africa, in South America, all over the world. We have you just look for Scanmarker and for local resellers and distributors. So it's pretty easy to get and to find us. The best way to reach us is through the website. We have the scanmarker.com, and it's easy to reach us through the site. Just call the support inquiry, and you think if you wish, I can give my personal mail as well. It's Ruben@scanmarker.com. Gladly had any question, maybe guide some other people to answers if there are too many. But feel free, everybody, to contact. Actually, propose ideas. Everybody will be answered. I promise.
Fantastic. Well, I'll put all those links on the show notes to the show. I will also put a video on there as well, just so people can see it in action. Because I'm sure whoever buys one, they're also going to get a kick out of just watching someone select something from the physical world, such as text in a magazine, like they would with a physical yellow highlighter pen, but then see it transported wirelessly, like you say, with this special magic on their computer, on their smartphone. It's just fantastic. It really is a cool piece of kit. So a big thank you for coming on and sharing your story with me today. Thanks.
Sure. Thank you very much for providing me the opportunity to present Scanmarker. Really appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much, very much.
The ability to select something from the physical world, such as text in a magazine, and display on our screens wirelessly, sounds incredibly cool to me. And I would imagine it's perfect for students too. And if we do have any students listening, please tell me, would you use Scanmarker? And if so, what would you use it for? I'm looking forward to hearing your creative uses for it and wonder how many different answers I'm going to get. So please, I open up my door. Email me at techblogwriter@outlook.com or tweet me at Neil C. Hughes. I'm quite excited to see what you've all got to say about this one, but I'm going back outside to enjoy some sunshine. But I'll return tomorrow with another great guest. So stay tuned for more happy days, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.